Hi everyone, welcome to the Video SDK Telehealth Starter-Kit. This application, powered by the Video SDK for Web, is a full-stack open-source template that serves as a starting point for developers to create their own virtual and customized healthcare experience. Let's go ahead and learn more about the application by starting with our landing page. And at the top, we'll see a banner telling us that we are in demo mode. Now, this allows us to toggle easily between the patient and doctor experience, and it's going to use auto-generated random data to hide personal information. Demo mode is only available on our deployed site, and it's not a feature available in the forked and clone repository. All right, so moving on, we'll see we have the option to sign in our header here and down here. We also can click on this button to link out and view our GitHub repository. Next, we have a short video that goes over how to get started with the application and the code base. And this section here is going to highlight key features of this application. You can learn more about them by reading here. I'm just going to quickly go through them. We have differentiated user portals, live transcription or captions, appointment management, a customized video call toolbar, the ability to add an appointment to your calendar, and secured appointment links. This next section is going to talk about the two curated experiences that come within this application. Being created for the healthcare audience, we had to consider what would be necessary for the doctors and the patients alike. So when you sign up, you'll be brought to an onboarding space that looks like this, and then you'll gain access to our patient portal, which has features such as PDF document upload, or our doctor portal, which has access to features such as SOAP compliant notes. Next, this section is going to highlight the tech stack we use to build our application. And lastly, our footer links out to Zoom privacy policy and terms of use. So now we're going to scroll back to the top, click on our sign in button, and run through the application and the user experience. All right, so post clicking sign in, I'm brought to a page that is utilizing OAuth for sign in. Now, the third-party provider we're using is GitHub, but you can customize and choose the provider or providers that make sense for your audience. Once I click sign in, I am brought to my onboarding page. And again, because we are in demo mode, we're going to notice one, we have an auto-generated name here. And two, we have access to both the patient onboarding form and the doctor onboarding form. On the patient side, we'll notice that we're collecting different pieces of metadata, such as blood type and weight. We'll also notice that the blood type selection is a drop-down menu to avoid any nonsensical inputs, making sure that we're only getting actual blood types. And on the doctor side, we're collecting information such as the doctor's department and their designation or title. So once I click submit, it is going to bring me to my dashboard, and from there, we'll continue going through the options available to each user type. So on my dashboard here, let's run through it first as a doctor. We'll see up top, we're viewing as a doctor. Our sign in button in our header now reads sign out because we have been registered, our user profile has been created, and we are signed in. So on my dashboard, I have three options available to me under my welcome note. I can create an appointment, view my schedule, and find a patient. Underneath upcoming appointments, my most immediate upcoming appointment is going to be shown. We have the date here, the time of the appointment, the title. If we click on this icon here, we can copy the appointment link to our clipboard if we need to invite anybody. And we can easily delete or cancel the appointment if necessary by clicking here. Underneath, we have who the appointment is with, how long, and as a doctor, we have access to our notes section, excuse me, where we can take notes or view past notes. And following the pattern that doctors typically use for note-taking, our notes are in the SOAP format. So patient's perspective, observed data, summary, and then actions taken. Now back on our dashboard, we'll see within the appointment card, we have a button that reads add to calendar. And this is going to allow us to download an ICS file that is auto-generated and easily add an appointment into our calendar. And we'll just see what that looks like up here. ISC file has been downloaded. All right, so if we click on the title of our appointment, we're going to be brought to a sessions detail page, which is going to give us a bit more information about the session, including any prior notes or prior recordings that were stored to the appointment. At this time, we don't have any, but we'll also notice underneath these buttons, we have a join appointment button. And this is going to allow us to rejoin a session if we ever need to. So we can rejoin any past sessions. Now back on our dashboard, let's go ahead and create an appointment and look at that flow. So I'll go ahead and give a title. We'll give a description. And here I can search for a user by their first name and select. After that, I have my duration and I have when I want my appointment to occur. If I try and set my appointment for a time that's already passed, so for instance, it is 2:01 right now. If I try and create my appointment for the current time or a past time, I'm going to get an error letting me know the appointment time must be in the future. So we have specific errors to let users know what exactly needs to be fixed if they cannot create an appointment. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and create this appointment for 2:10 p.m. on today's date. Once it's created, I'm going to be brought back to my dashboard and I'll see that the most upcoming or the most immediate upcoming appointment has now been changed to the one that I just created because that is happening in like 9 minutes. So with the appointment being in 10 minutes or less, this button here has changed from add to calendar to join appointment. And that's because whenever an appointment is occurring in 10 minutes or less, that appointment is going to allow, or we're going to be allowed the option to join the appointment. And so now that we've gone over the flow for creating an appointment, let's go ahead and look at our schedule. So viewing our schedule, we'll see any upcoming appointments that we have. We'll also see past appointments. At this time, I don't have any past appointments, but they will be listed here. And we have the same options available to us that we had on our dashboard. So we can delete, copy the session or appointment link. And we'll see here, because this appointment is about 2 weeks or so out, we don't have the option to join the appointment, but this appointment is about 8 minutes out. So we do have the option to join the appointment. We'll see that button is displayed based on the conditional. So back on our dashboard, let's click on our last option, find a patient. Here is going to allow us to search for a patient by their first name. Currently, we only have one listed, but we'll notice that even when we do type in a name, it's still filtering through and finding the matching patient file. We can view their profile, and this is going to show us data about the patient. This is all data that was collected during the patient's onboarding process. And we'll also see any files that were uploaded by the patient. So those would show up here. At the time, there are no uploads, but they would show up here. All right, so back on our dashboard, we have gone over what's available to a doctor. Let's go ahead now and view the dashboard as a patient. So looking at the patient side, we'll see up here, we're viewing as a patient. It's going to look identical to what we just saw on the doctor side, but we'll notice we have a few more options available to us. So in addition to being able to create an appointment and view our schedule, we can find a doctor, view our profile, and upload a document. So let's run through these 3 options. When I click find a doctor, I can search for a doctor by their first name and it'll filter through and show me that doctor. I also have the option to schedule an appointment with that doctor by clicking here, and that'll allow me to create an appointment just like we saw before. If I click on view your profile, it's going to show me my patient details. Again, these are the details that were collected during onboarding. I can also edit these details. So if I need to change, for instance, let's change my weight to 190, or sorry, my height. I can go ahead and click save. I had a growth spurt. Shout out to me. And after that, we're going to see the change reflected here. I'll also see any files that I have uploaded, and I have the ability to re-download those files. All right, back on my dashboard, the last option that I have available to me as a patient is going to be document upload. So I can click here to choose a file from my computer, and then I would select the file and click upload. Now, uploading is disabled in demo mode, so I'm not going to run through that, but it's similar to wherever you would see another PDF upload option. You choose the file, select upload, and it's saved to your profile. All right, so back on the dashboard, we've gone through the options that a patient has. Their upcoming appointment card looks exactly the same as you would see for a doctor, where you can click on session details, delete, or join the appointment based on when the appointment is happening. We'll notice here that patients do not have access to notes, so they only have access to recordings because patients cannot view or take notes during an appointment. So let's go ahead and move from the dashboard, join an appointment, and see what that appointment or in-call experience looks like. So when I click on join appointment, I am brought to my preview screen, and the first thing I'll see is a notice. And this is a space you would use to write out any patient consents that need to be seen prior to joining an appointment. So confidentiality clauses, recording consent, any HIPAA statements, anything that needs to be seen by the patient would be put into this modal here. And we'll also see a note telling us that captions are not medical grade. So just taking this space to make any disclaimers available for the audience prior to joining an appointment. So once I click I agree, here's my preview screen, which mimics what you would see in a Zoom meeting. Again, we are viewing this as a patient right now. We can preview our camera and select a different camera if necessary. We can also preview our microphone, make sure everything is working, and we can also test our speaker and select a different device if necessary. So everything looks good. I'm going to join my appointment. And once I join, I'm going to notice the camera is automatically on. Microphone is also on. And if I click on this button here, I can start a live transcription and get captions. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this for now. We'll also notice we have a settings button, which is going to allow us to select different devices as we need. And then this button is one that we added in. So this is a custom button that we call our action menu. And this is where you can add in any pieces of functionality that you see fit. So customize as you see fit. We add in the option, for instance, to invite others. So when you click on this button, the link is automatically copied to your clipboard. So you can easily send that out to whoever you need to invite. But this section, the purpose of it is for you to add in whatever functionality you think would be beneficial to your audience. The menu opens upwards, so it doesn't take up any more space on our toolbar. And then lastly, we're going to see the option to leave the call. Now at the top, we saw our transcript, but we also have a chat box where we can send any messages during our meeting if necessary. All right, so we viewed this as a as a patient. Let's go ahead and view the appointment experience as a doctor now. So again, we have this notice letting us know captions are not medical grade. Again, using this space to make any disclaimers necessary for this specific audience. I'll click OK. And then from there, I'm going to see my preview screen, which is identical to what we saw prior for the patient. So I'll join my session or join my appointment. And on here, I'm going to see the same toolbar that was available to me on the other side as a patient. We'll also see that I can go ahead and start my transcription and see those live captions in the top right side. We'll turn those off for now and exit out of this. We'll also see that chat box that we had available on the patient side as well. So if a doctor needs to send any messages, they can go ahead and do so. But we'll also notice something that's different is we have access to patient data in the top section where we can view the patient metadata and also view any PDF files they've uploaded. So for instance, if a patient has to upload a signed document prior to the appointment and they do so, we'll be able to review that document in the actual appointment or during the call. We'll also notice here that doctors can take notes, again, following that SOAP format during the session or during the appointment itself. So I'll just type in some test words, and once I click add, it's successfully been added, and we'll see that set of notes listed up here. And we can take as many sets of notes as possible, and we'll also have access to these notes by viewing our past appointments. We can see any notes that we took. So I'll exit out of this here as well. And then we're going to see really in this section, this is where the Video SDK, this is where we see that it's the perfect tool for the job. We're able to get the power of Zoom behind us. So that comes in our chat feature, our video feature, our transcript or captions, and our audio. We also see it with the ability to record different meetings and view them later, or record different sessions and view them later. But we also have the ability to customize this experience as we see fit. So we added in custom menu options, and we also were able to add in different pieces of functionality to the experience and make them available while you're in a video session. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my call now, and I'm going to be brought back to my dashboard. That is it for our demo of the Video SDK Telehealth Starter Kit. Thank you all so much for joining me, and that's all.